part 2, which of course I left off heading into the ROH title match for the ROH Championship between Bryan Danielson and Takeshi Morishima. I had a feeling I wasn't going to particularly care for this match. I mean, I like Morishima and I like Danielson, just the matchup itself, I'm not big fan of it, because I knew that if Danielson were to win, it would be one of those heart triumph things, which I don't really care for. And I knew if Morishima would win, it maybe might go a little too quick. Anyways, I mean, there were some good stiff blows in this match. There was a lot of desperation, and Danielson, of course, I mean, he would attack, whereas Morishima's a little more calm. Plus, I mean, Danielson always going for the finish. Somewhat like the Eric Stevens-Roderick Strong match, where, you know, Stevens was always going for finish, whereas Strong was kind of working him over. Morishima did a good job of that, working him over a little more. There was a massive suicide dive from Bryan Danielson, and he had a triangle choke attempt. Now, okay, I'm going to get into this, and this is going to show kind of my MMA background, but they say that when you get triangle choked in pro wrestling, they always are talking about oxygen and how you can't breathe. That's not true. Ever get someone who knows how to lock a triangle choke in, and you'll realize it's not the air being lost on you. It is entirely the blood. It is not going to your brain. Just, you know, I mean, if you're going to use an MMA hold, I just ask that you explain it right. That's all I ask. Rear naked choke by Danielson, almost gets a finish, which, you know, again, I didn't like. But that's my MMA background. I really should separate the two, but sometimes it steps in. Danielson works some pretty smooth subs, though, to be honest. Danielson hit, you know, a pretty nice belly to back suplex, which was a bit weird. I mean, when you consider it's Morishima. Danielson working the elbows to the head of Morishima repetitively, which kind of, you know, set up the fact that Morishima was going to do it later to him, to his damaged eye, which of course he had the eye patch on until eventually it just got ripped off. Of course, he had the triangles and elbows, sort of reminded me actually a lot of Jason McDonald and Ed Herman's real life fight in UFC. Morishima slammed his way out of the triangle, which was pretty good. I mean, you see that a lot actually in MMA. Yeah, the backdrop driver. Morishima then went after the eye. I mean, there was a small package attempt by Danielson. Backdrop driver again by Morishima. And then, of course, the finish just was Morishima just laying in with elbows to the eye of Bryan Danielson until the referee finally stopped it. It was a good ending. I mean, it builds the feud, of course, pretty nicely. Then it was Kevin Steen and Generico versus the Briscoes. First, we had a big feud kind of highlight video where they talked about all the fights from like Edison, New Jersey to, you know, wherever. I didn't write down the cities, but you know what I mean with it. Okay, and we start off with the nice chick, the Briscoes, coming in and actually launching the ladder at El Generico and Steen. Then, of course, we brawl out into the crowd. I'm not really high on the whole crowd brawling, but it happens and the fans love it. A lot of chair shots exchanged. El Generico got his back vaulted up pretty nicely. Kevin Steen had some amusing antics. He gave the low blow, of course, to I think it was Mark Briscoe. And he started eating popcorn from the fans, which was pretty cool. I like that. There was an ace crusher on Kevin Steen by Mark Briscoe off of the security barrier, which was pretty cool. Then there's, you know, then there was a lot of spots with the ladder. The highlights of that being, of course, the double arm drag by the Briscoes on El Generico through the ladder. There was a package pile driver on, I think, Jay Briscoe through the ladder. There was the it was Mark Briscoe, and the Jay Driller on El Generico through the ladder. There was a couple of the nice spots with Kevin Steen's, particularly when he was like telling Generico to climb the ladder because he wouldn't do it. I thought that was kind of funny. There was, of course, the tables. I think it was Mark put Kevin Steen through a table with an elbow drop. There was a springboard doomsday device through the ladder, which was very nice on El Generico. There was a lot of attempts to climb the ladder, a lot of saves. I mean, a couple ladders got destroyed. Eventually, we got the maintenance ladder in the ring, which was nice. And finally, I mean, at the end, and this kind of takes away from it just a little bit. Of course, we had the exchange of punches from Kevin Steen and Jay Briscoe on top of the ladder. Jay finally knocking Kevin Steen to the mat, but he couldn't get the belt down, which was a little weird. They kind of sold it because they had Kevin Steen climb again to make it look like that was supposed to happen, but I don't think so. I think he really was supposed to get that belt down kind of easily. He eventually does get it down, and then, of course, we have Steen push Generico away from maybe ending that tag team, but of course we know that it didn't. But that's using future sight. 4 3/4 stars. It would have got 5, but there were a couple of botches. And, you know, I just love the Guerrilla Warfare style matches. You know, Ladder War, TLC, whatever you want to call it. I like them. Age of the Fall attacked the Briscoes afterwards. Age of Fall, of course, consisting of Jimmy Jacobs, Tyler Black, Necro Butcher, and Lacey. They hung, I think it was Jay Briscoe, correct me if I'm wrong, from the top, and then Jimmy Jacobs stood under him with blood pouring down on him, and like just kind of enjoying the moment, I suppose. Anyways, this was one of the better pay-per-views I've ever seen, because I mean, it's one of the few pay-per-views I haven't rated a match below 2.5 stars, which I kind of go with the gauge of if it's below 2.5, it probably wasn't that good of a match. If it was above, it was watchable to okay, to great. I mean, great would be 4 and above, and well, maybe 3 3/4, 3.5 stars are also pretty great matches. But still, that's what I'm doing. Anyways, if you want, I run a wrestling sim, and I'll link it in the corner there, in the side. I think that way. Maybe that way. But anyways, check that out. It's fun. It's kind of nerdy, but hey. Whatever kills time, and I'm an easily bored child. I'm not so much a child anymore, but still. That's all I have to say on Man Up. Like I said, you know, criticisms, comments would be good, because I'm not going to do this for every pay-per-view, for like many pay-per-views, because I can't get pay-per-view in my res, and I'm kind of stuck with like downloading stuff or getting the DVD and then doing the review then. But I'll do like really good show reviews that I want to do. I'll do, like, I might do one for ROH Driven. There's another one I might do. I might do one on TNA. I might do one on WWE, just for the hell of it, really. But you know, any comments, criticisms? Should I do more on each match? Should I do less? Should I change my rating system somehow? But anyways, later, people.